Hey y'all, welcome to Ryan and Robert Rants. We are back with the Ranked Series bonus episode. Robert, which one are we doing today?
We are doing the Curse of La Llorona. It's
You-
like a little bonus curly fry at the bottom of your little thing that we got going on here.
the Curly Fry bonus episode,
Yeah.
the Curse of La Llorona. So this one is going to be a little different from the previous ranked ones, especially for the Conjuring Universe, since this one takes place outside of it. We're going to do a super condensed version of this. So let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. Robert, would you like to do the plot synopsis?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really have too much. Didn't really want to get that involved with this one like we have in previous entries. Again, the only one I'm just gonna do like the briefest of summaries. The only thing that really ties this movie to the other one is I believe what's his name? Father Perez. Yeah, Father Perez, Tony Amendola that showed up in the first Annabelle film. So just kind of going based off of this, the kind of like a little small storyline. It says, ignoring the eerie warning of a troubled mother suspected of child endangerment, a social worker, this is Linda Cardellini's character, and their own kids are soon drawn into a frightening supernatural realm of, La Llorona. So they kind of survive her deadly wrath, which maybe and they partner up with a disillusioned priest and the mysticism he practices to keep this evil spirit at bay. And it's pretty much what it is. Um, like I said, don't want to get too heavily involved in this one in terms of the story, but I mean, what I liked about this one is it was kind of a condensed story in and of itself. Like I think it clocked in at what, like an hour and 35 minutes.
Yeah, it's very short.
So
That's another
didn't
reason
waste
why
any
we did it
time.
short because this movie's
Yeah.
so short.
Didn't waste any time, kind of like got right into the gist of this movie, which, it was kind of a good thing and a bad thing, right? It didn't waste any time getting into the plot and the whole overall story of this movie, but it also didn't allow the movie any time to breathe and like let's like get to know these characters as well. So, you know, take the bad with the good, I suppose.
Yeah, I agree.
But
Anything else that worked for you?
I mean, I thought overall the design of La Llorona was pretty good. Had a couple of jump scares. I thought this movie actually had a some unsettling like sequences, like with the daughter in the bathtub. Like you don't really see too many like scenes like that in movies nowadays, where they don't show like the kids themselves like in to like in those kind of situations where it's like sort of like in
Peril?
endangerment, I suppose, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like they kind of always, if they do it, especially, I don't know if this movie was rated R or PG-13, but rated R. Okay. So, but yeah, but you don't really see like that a whole lot nowadays.
It chapter
I
two
mean,
maybe was like the last time you
maybe,
really saw something like that.
yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was kind of like, I don't want to say decent because you get to see children in peril, but it was just one of those ones where
Stakes.
it's like, oh, okay, yeah, like we got to see it, and it was like it was still a good scene because it brought those stakes, it brought that tension to and I guess the fear like the mother has to face, like, hey, this is a real thing, like get on it.
Yeah.
So, but it did have a couple of overall, I think it did have a couple like jump scares and some like tense scenes that made this movie, a worthwhile watch for me.
Okay. Nice, nice.
How about you?
So what worked for me? The poster slaps. I still maintain that
Yes,
it is such a
I
good
do love the
poster.
poster.
Yeah, when I worked
Wait,
at the
which one? The one
theater,
that I have on the thing,
the
or the one
the
like?
the one that you have on the thing, that's the one
I mean, even the
that
other
we
one
would
that
get
IMDb
during
have
the
is still pretty good. The
yeah,
reflection in the water.
I believe so. Let me
Yeah.
take a look
Well,
at it
I'm looking
real.
at it. That's why I
You looking at it?
know. It has her with her two, the original.
Yes.
mother.
So
Yeah,
that poster, when I worked at the theater, yeah, we had a bunch of them. And I remember the first time I
yeah,
saw it, I was like, okay, that is a picture. That is a good
yeah.
freaking poster. So I still maintain that it slaps. The opening production companies with the music is creepy and good. Like it sets the tone perfectly for the movie. Um, the windows rolling down in the car scene is pretty cool with him needing to roll them up. The kids,
Hmm.
y'all don't know about that life, and if you do,
The crank.
respect. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know about that life. Mexicans in a movie. Raymond Cruz is your guy. It was either that or getting homeboy that plays Hector.
Yeah.
Everything.
You know who he is.
So, one thing that did make me laugh in the movie when all the whole everything's happening and it starts making Linda Cardellini's character look like she's abusing the kids. There's Donna from The Office. Donna appearing out of the shadows for the welfare check made me laugh. She's like, "Oh, it's that bitch Donna again."
Right? Perhaps the true villain of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Who doesn't get her comeuppance, but maybe in a longer cut, possibly. Like you said, the bathtub scene is pretty good, especially just because like it's played very calmly, and then when you see in the back, you don't even realize that she's standing behind her because you think it's the curtain, but then she
Yeah.
starts moving, and you're like, oh, it's her wedding dress. And then when you just
Yeah.
see her hand just like doing the whole scrubbing gently and whatnot, like it's a pretty creepy scene, and we do need more of that. Let me see what else I had. That's more of stuff I didn't like. Oh, no, that I'll bring up in a little while. But yeah, as far as what I like, that's pretty much it. Like I said, there's minor things I liked, but we'll talk about what didn't work in just a moment. But speaking of what didn't work for you,
Well, I think I touched upon it. Like again, this is one of those movies where you had to take the, I guess, the bad with the good in terms of like the runtime. Yes, it is like on the, the hour and a half type, whatever. So we didn't get a whole lot of time, I think, for we hit the ground running, and it was kind of just almost like nonstop. There was no time for to like to breathe, let the story kind of like, breathe, like again, breathe. We didn't get to know like this family too like well, like we have in the previous entries of like, I guess, this overall universe, right? Um, we got to know the family in the first Conjuring, the second Conjuring. We even got to know the kids from Annabelle creation. So, but we didn't really get that with this one. And again, it kind of suffers for it. I mean, maybe a good, maybe 15 more minutes of runtime could have probably helped this movie breathe a little bit. Um, but that's kind of like my biggest complaint. Like, I mean, I could probably go in and nitpick, but kind of just want to keep it short and sweet. The loose tie, I don't know if it was just kind of a money grab for this to try to tie it into the overall Conjuring universe by having Tony Amendola in this. I mean, again, he's fine. He's an all right. I like the actor, but again, I don't know if it was just a money grab trying to just have that like tag like from the Conjuring universe. I know. I mean, I don't know too much about the overall like folklore of La Llorona. I know that's a huge like thing, I think, in like Mexican culture, if I'm not mistaken.
can't
But I
confirm.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know
Can't
too
confirm.
much about it. And I don't know if this movie does. I don't know if this movie does it justice, so I can't answer to that because again, I don't know too much about it. Um, but I think, like I said, if you maybe gave this movie a little bit more runtime, you probably could have, dove into that like overall mythology and the culture behind it. I think would have probably helped. But again, I think my biggest thing was just the runtime. As much as I don't know if this. Yeah, I think that's like my biggest thing is
Hmm.
this movie didn't have the time to breathe.
Yeah. I Was there anything else you didn't like?
Nah, I mean, like I said, I can nitpick, but like I said, I just wanted to keep it short and sweet on like my biggest gripes.
Yeah. It's okay. I'll nitpick for you.
Again, this is the
um
bonus episode.
yeah. I do agree with you though. The runtime is a big issue. And what you said, yeah, about La Llorona, very big, very big in my culture. Yeah, I'll take ownership. My culture. And yeah, growing up, it wasn't something that, I really heard from my parents too much. It was more like if I go spend the night at like my cousin's house or stuff like that. So it was one of those things like I found out more a little bit, as I got older when I was like, 5 or 7, but it never really scared me. But I thought it was just a really cool thing about our culture. And the thing that does upset me with this is I feel like it doesn't really do justice. Like you said, I think like 15 more minutes, 20 minutes, 10 to establish the family a little more, 10 to establish La Llorona a little bit more as well. The opening sequence has too many quick cuts, so it gives the feeling of it being rushed. There's a lot of quick cuts just in that opening sequence of La Llorona with the kids. The kids in the closet, close the door, please, she'll hurt us. And then seeing the burns on the kid's arms. Oh, no, it wasn't her. Just say it. Just say what's going on. The cut of her, of showing her in the car window when she's like, "Ah," like that, and then gone. It's a bad edit. It's a really bad edit. The whole like when she starts terrorizing the kids at the house, and Linda Cardellini's like, "You okay, honey?" She's like, "Yeah, I was just imagining things." Tell your mom. Tell your mom what's going on, dude. Um, I talked about that. Da, da, da. I will say they could have done better on making us believe that this was 1973. Like all we really get is just the bus, the car, the typewriter, Scooby Doo on TV equals 1973.
Yeah.
This was as bad as the tone that they set with Annabelle, the
Oh yeah,
travesty that
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
Annabelle. Um, I put, how do
And
you not
poor,
hear him scream? The
yeah,
rolling
poor
down the
Tony
window.
Amendola's part of both.
Yep. Tony, speaking of Father Perez, sliding in, and then when she says La Llorona, and he's like he's taken back to his childhood. I haven't heard that name in years. She goes to talk to him, and he's offering her the crucifix. I'm like, girl, take the crucifix. Like, get God on your side. Like, this is the thing that drives me crazy in these movies is like they'll ask for help, and they're like, "Nah, we don't need that." I'm like, dude, like take what you can get. Take the win. Take the W. Um, so speaking of, so she said that she prayed to La Llorona to take her kids instead of bringing her kids back. So what was she doing it right then, and then La Llorona just appeared in the alleyway? Because it literally happens like right then. So that again, that's a
Yeah.
big crux in the movie where it throws it off. I'm like, wait, you would have been doing this in advance had that happened, but no. So that threw me off. Let me see. Ta-ta-ta. They could have possibly had the Warrens, but the church process takes weeks. Was something that I noticed. Um, when Raymond Cruz, he's like, "This is church business." Little girl grabs his arm, please. Then he proceeds to. That's all it took.
That's all it takes. The plight of a
Um,
little girl.
so the eggs, the rubbing of the eggs, that made me laugh, but it's because it's tradition in the
I
culture.
know. Yeah, I remember. I think I saw that in one of the, was it the Paranormal Activity? I think, was it the marked ones or
Probably because that
right?
movie is very authentic to
Yeah.
what it's like being Hispanic. I can't confirm. Um, the oh, that's a trick. I saw it on Johnny Carson. I was like, really, lady? I'm like, dude, everything you've just seen and gone through, and you're like, really? Like, now's not the time for little gripes like that. Let me see. Do you think the whole movie could have been prevented if she just would have left the kids at home?
Probably. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that was something I had. The fade to black after he says anti venom, and then boom, the movie cuts to black. I'm like, oh, is it over or like what's going on? Um, La Llorona screaming with the candles going out, and them grabbing the lantern. I put you missed one bitch. I don't know why I put that. The help us, and then he steps into the dark. That made me laugh. They're like, help us. And he's just like, nope.
Nope.
The sound of the vial lid made me laugh because it sounds like a grenade pin being pulled. Sam getting pulled through the door looks so bad where she's like getting pulled back. Let me see. Everyone is scared. Raphael, no. That made me laugh. 15 minutes left, and now you want to start using fades in the movie.
Yes.
That was a big gripe that I had, but I mean, that was his thing. That is Chavez's thing. Um, I need a La Llorona to help me move some furniture because that attic scene when she's just like, girl, I need you on speed dial. I will give it this. This is my last note that I have. La Llorona disintegrating looked pretty cool. I
Yeah.
thought I was gonna have an issue with it, but it actually looked pretty cool. But yeah, that is all I have to say on that. Now, what do you give this movie out of 10?
Out of 10. So I remember the first time I watched this movie, I actually kind of in I wouldn't say enjoyed it, but I it was like, okay, it's decent. Again, I didn't know too much about, the whole, La Llorona thing. So I was like, I liked it. The second time, I watched there was the last one I watched for this whole kind of rewatch, and after, Annabelle was not the greatest. Both nuns, and I was just like, all right, kind of just wanted to be done, because we got the best two out of the way, like right from the rip, right?
Yeah.
The best two movies in this whole uh franchise was pretty much done, right? Well, actually, you had that one, and then Annabelle, so you had like the bad and the worst. But like, I was like, I remember, I think I'd probably give this one a mid because in terms of if I had to rewatch this, I would prefer to probably rewatch these more than the Nun. And if I go back and look at my Nun rankings, I think I gave them both like a 4 or 4.5. So going based on that, I'd probably give this a 1 out of 5 out of 10. I like I said, this is Chavez's, I think, first film in his like five that I think he's done in this whole universe
Yeah,
now.
his five stretch.
Um, but you kind of get his earlier kind of things that he's done, and it kind of carried over to, The Devil Made Me Do It. Again with the quick cutting, but I feel like just again the whole thing felt like it was rushed. It was just like it was fast paced, which I guess if you're trying to make a runtime of an hour and a half, you kind of have to do that. But I felt like if this movie was just a little longer, it probably would have been more, I guess, fleshed out. But I don't know. It was very. It was kind of, how do I say it? I guess it had like checkpoints to hit, right? It had like these like, what do we got to include? All right, get it. All right, that's the movie. We're done, and we got to get there from all. It had just like these boxes it needed to check. It did that, and it was done. So it was kind of just, again, pretty basic in terms of overall movie. Again, I'm not going to comment on overall story and the, I guess, mythology, the folklore of La Llorona, because I don't know. But in terms of the movie, again, I'd say it's probably like right there, mid 5 out of 10.
Gotcha. And I'm inclined to agree. This is a 5 out of 10 movie. You cannot convince me that this was not originally a Lifetime movie because that is the vibe it has. It's filmed like one, it feels like one. Take out La Llorona from it, it's a movie about abuse. Like,
Yeah,
the movie still plays the same way a Lifetime movie would. This movie did
yeah,
have a lot of potential and some interesting things, like we mentioned earlier, but it feels very cheap. And like you
yeah,
said, and having talked it out, it's the runtime. The runtime itself, how it's portrayed. We needed a little bit more La Llorona lore, I think. But again, like you said, this was his first run at it. This is the origin. This is Chavez Begins.
yeah.
So seeing where this is to where we end up with Last Rites, I mean, you definitely see the evolution to where he's getting better. He's learning from those things. But yeah, but still not a bad start for this. But again, not a home run either.
Nope.
So having said that, switching gears to the
Tear
tier
maker.
list. Where do we rank La Llorona, Robert?
Whew. Well, I think just based on the tier, kind of like the tiers alone, this is a very mid movie. I think it's got to either be at the end of C or at the beginning of D, but I think a 5 out of 10 warrants
Uh
a C tier. All right, almost warrants.
huh.
Takes weeks, guys. Got to go through the church. Um, so I think just based on the rating, it's got to be the end of C tier. C to me is like your mid basic, 5 out of 10 types, movies with a little bit of fluctuation, but those are your mid movies. And I think end of C, kind of where it belongs.
Gotcha. So, I am inclined to agree with you. And that is
Nice.
because, of course, this movie is way better than the Nun movies, way better than Devil Made Me Do It. And again, I gave Devil Made Me Do It a 4.5, so I'm in agreement with you. C is a good middle ground. I don't think it's better than Annabelle Comes Home, and that's saying a lot because that's a movie I didn't like originally. And then after doing this rewatch, I found myself, hey, it actually wasn't too bad, and it's also an evolution to where he was. You know,
Yep.
start with La Llorona, gets a little better, and as you see, they start progressing. He did slip with Devil Made Me Do It, but I feel like he redeemed himself with Lost Rights. But
Agreed.
aside from that, Robert, we have now officially made it to the end of the Conjuring franchise. Bonus episode included, dude. We did
Yes.
it. High five, man.
Yes.
High five. But yes, oh, glory days. Any final things you want to say on the Conjuring universe in a whole? Or feel like you left
Nope.
everything out
I
there?
think so. I think we've exhausted it.
I agree, man. Well, with that being said, thank y'all so much for watching. We greatly appreciate it. This has been a fun journey going on the Conjuring Rank series. Trying at times, adventurous. One thing I do want to mention that I didn't get a chance to mention during La Llorona, I watched it twice because I lost my notes the first time, so I had to watch it a second time to take new notes. But again, still played pretty well. But again,
Nice.
as Robert always says, get down in the comments. We want to hear from y'all. What do you think about the Conjuring universe in a whole? Which one has been your favorite? Which one is the worst? Do you agree with our rankings? Do you not? Who's the better Farmiga? Ooh. Get down in
Ooh.
the comments. We want to hear from y'all. Robert, would you like to let them know what else we have going on?
Yes. Much like Mrs. Warren, I have seen the future. Nah, nah, I haven't. But
And it is good.
uh and it is good. The future tells me our next rank series is gonna be the Predator franchise. So if you're a fan of that franchise, or if you're not, stay tuned. We're going to be doing, all of them from, the 1987 original, going leading up to Predator Badlands coming out probably in like 2 weeks after whenever this goes up live. I don't know. Um, but yeah, so that's going to be a fun journey. I'm halfway through my rewatch, I think. I don't really know.
I'm still on
But
Predator 2.
yes. Oh, so you've got a ways to go. I'm
Yeah.
on AVP. What was the subtitle for
Requiem.
that one? Requiem? Yeah. Yeah. Um I'm on that one. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. But we also have like over 100 trailer reactions, movies, TV shows, video games. Feel free to check, a few of those or all of them out if you're, a completionist like me on certain things. Greatly help us out. We're also going to be doing a summer recap video, like 2 months late. But anyways, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna revisit our old video from April, see where we stack up on our most anticipated to where we, where we rank our actual favorite movies and see how they stack up. It'd be fun to revisit and see how, 6 months ago Robert and Ryan did.
It was a completely different life, that's for sure.
Yes. See what those bastards knew.
Oh, they were so unaware. But yes, thank you, Robert, so much for going on this journey. Can't wait for the next one with Predator. And thank y'all so much for watching as well. We will see y'all in the next adventure.